It's time to introduce our first speaker. It's a great honor to call onto the stage Martin Sirk, ICCA CEO. Martin, please step in. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Have a seat.
Thank you very much.
And I guess many of our viewers are either ICCA members or are affiliated with ICCA in some kind. But in this time of social media, if I challenge you to summarize in one tweet or one social media update, what is ICCA?
Well, I would switch it around the other way. It's not about what is ICCA. I'll give you an answer which could fit into a tweet.
Yes.
If your company is interested in international associations, you need to be in ICCA. Okay. If you are an international association, you need to know about us and engage with us.
All right.
That's it.
Simple. That's a clear answer. And then right here we're live at the Research and Marketing Program. What is that event in your curriculum?
Okay, it's the actual full title, Research, Sales and Marketing Program.
All right.
And I understand why you might have got it wrong because it's a big mouthful.
Yes.
And we've spent about 3 or 4 years trying to find a snappy title that described what it did. And every single one we came up with turned out to be useless.
All right. So what does it do?
It provides exactly what it says in the title, research, sales and marketing advice for frontline facing staff of ICCA member companies.
All right.
Now the trick about this conference, the thing that makes it distinctly different is that we require the delegates to do their preparation before they come here. So we ask them to work on live projects, what are their big problems, all to do with sales, marketing, research. So when they come here, although there's a framework and there are topics, there's lots and lots of chances for them to talk one-on-one with the faculty or to raise their particular problem within the discussion groups. Okay. And what that means is when they go back home to their bosses, they have tangible improvements to the work they're actually working on.
Wonderful, wonderful. And now specifically on this session that we're going to watch in a few minutes, I know you always have quite a strong hand in the program that comes about this. Why would you think a session on association bidding is so important?
Well, bidding is at the heart of what makes success in our business. Associations, the vast majority of them, have some form of quite complex bidding process. And the reason why ICCA is successful is that we help our members to understand each individual situation. So the real heart of the Research, Sales and Marketing Program is to educate the delegates about how this process works, what sort of questions to ask, to understand how to get past the complexity, to break it down into bite-sized pieces. And the beauty of this session is that we have some great experienced clients with us.
Exactly, exactly. Because I would then, my next question would be, who would this session specifically be intended for? Only for destinations?
Not at all. The point is, if to be successful in bidding, you have to have a strong team. And that team could be the PCOs and DMCs, the venues, the national marketing organisation, the city marketing organisation. So everybody plays a part in the process, and understanding how to interact and how to form those successful teams is really critical.
All right. But I learned that ICCA also recently opened a platform for association planners and association directors. Yeah. How would they benefit from the upcoming session?
Well, I think that one of the things I've learned from clients over the years is that they are struggling with how to professionalize and improve their process.
Exactly.
And the only way that they can do that is by understanding how other associations are doing it. Many associations are purely looking at their historic background to how they make decisions. And what we wanted to do was to give them a chance to tap into the expertise of other associations who they may not know.
Exactly.
So we're acting as a kind of a safe haven, a link where they can swap that information, they can improve, they can eliminate some of the non-rational elements that arrive in the decision making. They can look at incrementally how they can improve it or add little nuances that fit in with their culture and their patterns.
All right, all right. And what can we expect from the content of this session? Where are you taking us in the next 60 minutes?
That's a very good question. Essentially, we're experimenting today. You know, we haven't run a session in this way before, so we're covering a lot of ground, and we brought together a very experienced PCO, some very experienced clients, to ask them about how bidding is changing and what's really, really important at the heart of it. We can't obviously in 1 hour cover everything to do with bidding because it is so complex and there are so many different elements, but we want to give a flavour of the sort of questions you need to ask, how you should be evaluating your own processes, and what steps you can take to actually improve the way in which your country or your city or your venue is actually being getting engaged in this whole process.
Exactly, and in that way become from a good convention bureau or partner supplier to a great one, right?
Yeah, I think your introduction was brilliant in terms of saying it's no longer about being a supplier, offering a service, it's about presenting yourself as a strategic partner. Because you only have to look at the length of time between a typical research and conducting the bid through to the event actually arriving. And it could be 4, 5, 6 years sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lengthy process.
So partnership with the client is a really critical element over that period to become successful.
All right. Hey, and you already mentioned that this hour might be way too short, and that is a great cue, I think, to introduce something very special and exclusive for our online viewers, and that's the virtual goodie bag. And what this is that you at home, if you look at the website associationbidding.com, in your right column, if you scroll down a little bit, you see this image of a bag. That is actually your virtual goodie bag. And Martin, you and ICCA have submitted a first thing in the goodie bag, which is actually a digital copy of this great piece of work. What are we looking at? What is this?
This is one of the most important pieces of print that ICCA actually produces. It's a breakdown of how associations make decisions and a description of the type of different sorts of decision-making criteria. And also the typical timeline that actually is undertaken and what you need to do. So for a supplier, it was actually written for the associations to help associations improve their processes.
Exactly.
But a supplier can look at it and help to deconstruct an RFP or a bid book to look for where the gaps are.
Exactly.
Because often an association fails to communicate all of the decision-making criteria. So when one of our members looks at this book, they can actually say, hey, these guys have not articulated what they're trying to achieve, for example. And then when they respond, they can go back and say, tell us what you're trying to do, which then helps to build that whole sense of partnership and deeper understanding.
Wonderful. Well, looks like a great resource, and that's your first takeaway that you have already. Well, Martin, let's keep it up to here right now.
Okay.
That allows you to get ready for the live session. Thank you very much, and we'll see you back in the after show.
Thank you very much.
All right.